I think there was an element when this happened of, I kind of call it just LOL Browns. Like, oh my God, they acquired Kenny Pickett. I can't believe it. That's hilarious. And I do think it got blown a little bit out of proportion because it was the first move they made. I've kind of talked myself into the idea of, you basically took a quarterback who was not very good and you couldn't play, threw a fifth round pick on top of it and traded it for Kenny Pickett, who's a guy who also not very good, but he has started. He has won some football games. You could play him if you needed to. I don't think this is quite as outlandish a move as people are making it out to be.
No, and I think, as you mentioned, the reason why it drew guffaws and some harsh criticism out there in the social media world is the fact that, like, I've been writing today, hey, maybe they should try to get Russell Wilson. And we've been talking about all these other different quarterbacks that perhaps they would get. Kirk Cousins. I still think that they are going to try to acquire a veteran bridge quarterback that can come in here and try to start games for them if necessary until the rookie is ready. So I think this is, like you said, it's sort of a swap or a little bit of an upgrade over DTR for their third quarterback, not necessarily their veteran bridge.
The other thing that kind of helped me come to terms with this was that Zach Wilson, like shortly after the Browns made this trade, Zach Wilson signed with the Dolphins for $6 million. Kenny Pickett is going to cost you around 2.5. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it's not an exorbitant amount of money. I guess when I saw Zach Wilson sign, it kind of put down this idea of, well, couldn't you just have gone and gotten a guy like this in free agency? Well, in a world where Zach Wilson might cost $6 million, maybe this was just the right move. I mean, ultimately, again, it's DTR, a guy you were done with, and a fifth round pick, which who knows what that's going to become.
Yeah, I think really too the biggest part of this getting so much flack initially is because it's the first thing they do, right? I mean, it was a fairly quiet day for them overall, and this was the first big news they made. So, of course, I feel like right now it's just pile on the Browns time. Once everyone calmed down and I think realized what Mary Kay was saying, that this isn't necessarily the move for the bridge guy. It's more like you took two third string quarterbacks essentially because Philly has another guy they want to be the backup already. It sounds like Dorian's going to go there and be the number 3. And it sounds like Kenny Pickett, I mean, I would assume right now, would probably be the number 3 here too. So if the Browns really decided, okay, we've seen enough of DTR. We saw those couple of games in 2024. We don't really want to move forward there. And you give an extra fifth round pick that you got from the Lions to the Eagles and make that swap for a guy who has started some games. Not the best guy, obviously, that's out there, but it's slim pickings right now, especially financially. So if he ends up being your third string quarterback, I don't think this is a LOL Browns type move, Dan, as you said.